Howdy, 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 ho. What's up, everybody? So, that was John Carpenter from Halloween theme music 1978. The good old times. Theme music 1970. Okay, you guys can hear me. That's great. Just want to make sure. Now today we are going to do some special stuff because I was super late today, but because I've been just working really hard. I don't know what else to say, just the truth. Other than that, I don't think I have anything. But yeah, we are going to cover TryHackMe's web fundamentals, completing the whole part of the that module. Also, what we are going to do is I was reading through certain articles. I found some really interesting articles that came into my what's this called, timeline and attention. So we will be covering some of those things where we are going to talk about, a lot of people mentioned, right, like regarding tech in general, like what to do with jobs and all those things. So we are going to cover that. And on Sunday there will be a special stream I will try to do, in which I will be working on a blog helping everyone with their resume. I'm going to write a blog, but also if anybody have any question, they can join the Discord and ask me any question related to the just tech in general or with the resume writing, because my resume got selected in big tech firms like Amazon, Fortinet, IBM, right? So I know at least certain things. I'm not an expert, but I did read certain things. I did some research, and I'm going to put everything, all my knowledge in one blog and help you understand how I understand things, because I try to explain in a way it is easy for a layman even to go through things, right? Like able to understand what to do, why, what is the reasoning behind it, right? So those specific reasons I will be going over. And let me make sure you guys can see me properly everywhere. Right? Okay, awesome. So now, with that being said, let's go over our hacking for the day. We are going to cover how the web works, right? We were at how websites work, a big good 2-3 tasks coming, and then putting it all together. So let's look into that. How the websites work. To exploit a website, you first understand a website, right? We are going to talk about JavaScript. As I mentioned yesterday, right? JavaScript are the features. So if in your house, the wood panels, the bricks, all those things are the HTML. The color code, right? The coloring on the walls, the plaster and everything to make it look good are the CSS. Last, JavaScript are the functionalities, like your house has heating, running water, all those kind of things. That's what we are going to talk about with a website. For example, let's say with this any type of behavior, right? With JavaScript, we have this functionality. This is available because of JavaScript. What to hide, what to do, all these things, including this function, right? When we go on the website's page and we hover over here, that's how things work. And let me turn on my caption for this. Okay, hopefully you guys can see it. Now let's go over this. JavaScript is one of the most popular coding languages in the world and allow pages to become interactive. HTML is used to create website structure and content, while JavaScript is used to control the functionalities of a web page or of web pages. Without JavaScript, a page could not have interactive elements and would always be static. What is a static website? If I want to give you an example, right? Static website is almost same as like looking at a PDF, Think about this way, right? Remove the search part, remove all these buttons. What a HTML would be? Just a plain text. Even these things, right, where it's like becoming green, like dark, bold, right, black, and others are blue, those all things would be gone. It'll be a simple web page, right? So with JavaScript, it's different now. JavaScript, we can dynamically update the page in real time. Like when I click on this task 3, it's real time, right? We are changing how what's on the page. Giving functionality is to change the style of a button, like this. When we hover over, the style changes. When a particular event on the page occurs, so if let's say I clicking is an event, right? That's the type of event. Event will be, let's say you type something, you clicked on something, right? You hovered over something, those type of events. And there's a massive list. Even keyboard, when you click, when you press down on key, when you press up, or basically release the key, those type of things. JavaScript and was that, brother? If you are Indian, then Hindi. I am Indian, bro. Thank you. I love Hindi. Hindi is my mother tongue. The reason I do it in English, actually, I tried doing it in Hindi, but problem comes. It's like even for me, it's kind of hard to explain certain things because I have been like speaking English from last 7-8 years. I came to Canada when I was like 18, so it's kind of hard. It's been like 7-8 years. But if you like, right, if you want me to explain certain concepts just in Hindi, I would love to help you with that. Or even if you want to join the Discord, just talk about those type of things in, and I can we can do a call. I can explain you, go through everything. Or even like I might even ask AI to help me with that, right? AI can help with the Hindi translation with Google and everything coming in, right? That'll be interesting. But thank you so much, man. Thank you for mentioning that. I like Hindi. Hindi is always my number one language of choice, along with like any Indian language will be my number one level of choice, whether it's Punjabi, Hindi, Haryanvi, or anything. Love Hindi. Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you so much for messaging, and hopefully you are able to understand. That's why I have captions on. So if anyone with like who don't have English that good, like familiarity with English or fluent with English, hopefully this helps. And if there is any other way I can improve, let me know. But yeah, as I was saying here, JavaScript JS can dynamically update the page, giving functionality to change the style of the button when a particular event happens on the page, such as when a user clicks a button, right? Like I clicked here, or you guys could not see. Probably I clicked here, right? I clicked on the hint button. Awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you for mentioning. So clicking of those buttons, that's an event, right? Or to display moving animation. This is a moving animation too. See, it's coming up and then gone. This also is loading, stuff like that. All these are events. Now, how JavaScript knows when to do which event, right? So, first of all, how to include the JavaScript in your HTML? We use something called a script tag. JavaScript is added within the page source and can be either loaded within script tags or can be included remotely using src attribute. What that means, right, is let's say, as I was mentioning yesterday, right, with VS Code. Let me bring this guy up here. Let's say we have this HTML page, right? Let's say I have this HTML page, right? And I want to add JavaScript to it. There are two ways I can do it. First, I can just say, okay, I create a JavaScript file here. Let's say js1.js. I have to mention JS as the extension, but let me rename it. Test.js, right? If I want to include this, what I can do is go up here, in the head, right? Or even at the bottom, I can add it too. I go script, src. I mention where from HTML file which I'm working, where is the repository. So it's in the same directory. I'll go like this, test, or I can just even remove this and do test.js. Both will work. Is it not this way? How the script tag ends? Okay, I have to go it like this. It won't be self one in this version. Okay, so like this, I can add a file, or let's say I have code here, right? Let's say there is some code here. I can legit add this code. I can remove the source thing. Both will work exactly the same way. And that's what we are going to learn. So you can add within the page source code, right? Can we either load it within the script tag? So it's within the script tag, whatever we wrote, right? These two are script tags. Or can we add it remotely? The reason we want to do this way, the source way, right? You will be like, okay, why to have so many files? It's cleaner. Remember, if you are in coding, right? After working for big companies, I can just tell you one big thing. It's better to write a easy to read code, right? With a good amount of logic than a very, very hard code where nobody understands what's going on. That's way more hard. You might think, okay, with AI and everything, we can write the hardest code and all those stuff. Do not do that. Do not do that. And I can tell you exactly why. I will give you a very big example with AI. If you search with IBM, right? What happened with IBM? Their system, their AI system is called Watson. And it was able to diagnose, I don't know what it was. I think diagnosis cancer patient case. I think it was that. $4 billion AI failure of IBM Watson. What basically was this case, right? Is that IBM Watson detected that a person has cancer. But because people wrote a code which they didn't understand, like it was so complicated, they could not tell that, hey, our AI system was able to tell this person has cancer. Why our code is acting like that, right? And that's important. And that's why I said to write cleaner code, first write cleaner code. Make sure you're writing good, clean code. Don't look for just the most clever code that nobody understands. Because if I click on this hint button and nobody can tell why this is happening, and if they want to change things in future, they want to understand what's going on, if there is an issue with this code, a vulnerability, then that's a very bad thing. And that's whole case with IBM Watson. IBM Watson could have been like the AI winner or AI like super thing in the world instead of OpenAI. But because of these issues they had, they lost. And that's a very big loss. I'll say that. It's still working. IBM Watson is still working, but it's not that big what it could have been. So my personal advice, write good cleaner code. And how you do that? By writing JavaScript files in separate files, not included in the same HTML, so that it's easy to make changes, it's easy to understand, and it's cleaner. Next, the following JavaScript code finds the HTML element on the page with the ID of demo and changes the element's content to hack the planet. So here we have document. Let's say I will copy this code and let's see what it is. So we have document get element. What is the document? Your web page, right? What it says on the web page, get me the element, get me which element, which thing, right? Which part of the web page has the ID demo, right? Okay, it's probably, let's say, a text box. Then what we say inside that text box, inner HTML should be hack the planet. I'll just tell you this one thing, I just don't like it. It should be inner text if you do, That's a much better thing instead of just inner HTML. You want to do it when you are adding some HTML code. But what it is saying, this specific code is saying that, hey, find this element which has the name demo, right? And inner HTML is this. So it should show hack the planet. HTML elements can also have elements such as on click, on hover. So we have on hover, you see the hint is changing the color. On click, features, right? Or events that executes JavaScript when the event occurs. So on click event occurs, it will show me this, right? When on hover occurs, I'm not clicking, but the color is changing. If I don't click that, I do not let that event happen, it's not going to change it. The following code changes the text of the element with the demo ID to button click this. Button on click, right? Change the element's name to button clicked and says click me. What this is, pretty simple. Let me show you. I'll explain to you and I will show you really quick too. One sec. Oh wait, I can do this. Can I switch the view to word wrap? Okay. So what here is saying, right? There is an element which is button, right? A button type of element. Its name is click me, right? Just like here we have hint up here, right? This one name is click me. When somebody clicks on this button with the name click me, what we want you to do is document.get element by ID. Get me whichever on the page the name of the element is demo. Whatever is the whichever is the element, not necessarily the button, but whichever element's name is demo. Change its name to button clicked. Now it could be that the name of this button could be that. So how we'll do this? ID equal demo. ID is the name, right? That's how you will change the button name from button click me, from click me to button clicked. Simple. So let's view the site and see what they want us to do. And here on click events can also be defined within the JavaScript script tag and not on elements directly. So you can do it on JavaScript, on the HTML tag, wherever you like. Click the view site button on this task. On the right hand side, add JavaScript that changes the demo element's content to hack the plan. Okay, so we have this copy pasted this code. We have this code, doc type HTML, right? Header name is TryHackMe editor, and body, this is our main stuff, which says there is an element with the name ID is equal to name demo and says hi there. Then we have script tag with the type JavaScript, and here we have to add the script. You technically, majority of the time you don't have to add this type, but it's good to add it. Okay, so now let's see what it does. It rendered, let me hide myself for a second, so and remove the captions. Or wait, I don't want to remove the captions because it will be hard, so I'll remove myself first. Okay, this will help you guys. Okay, so do you guys see hi there is written up here, right? You see there is a web page with hi there. And if I change this to, let's say, hello friend, I am AI, right? Now if I render this, click on this button, you see this stays changed, right? What I have to do is create the script which will change its name, right, to what it says, hack the planet. So, and it should automatically do that. So what I will do, first let's find the element. So document, in this web page, get element by ID. Remember, ID demo. Okay, I got the element. What I want to do, change inner text or inner HTML, but inner text is preferred if you're just changing the text to hack. Let's just do this and semicolon at the end. This is an JavaScript is correct. Okay, so let's see. Document get element by ID. That is a name, right? Or is ID small? Yeah. So get element by ID. So whichever element's ID name is demo, get that and change its inner text to hack. What we want? We want hack the planet. Once we do it, you will see something interesting. So let's render this. You see, congratulations. The answer to the question is JS is fun. Beautiful. And you can see hack the planet is here. Awesome. So next, add the button HTML from this task that changes the element's text to button clicked on the editor on the right. Okay. Add the button HTML with the from this task. Okay, so first we have to just add the element. Which one is this? A button. We just have to copy paste the code, honestly. But what this code is saying, hey, on click, document.get element by demo, get element by ID. So whichever element's name is demo, get it and change its inner HTML to clicked. Hey, do you have any OSCP? I don't have actually. I haven't cleared OSCP yet, bro. But if you want, I can recommend some people. If you want to know people I follow, John Hammond, the TryHackMe mentor, IPSec, and which will be another good one for OSCP. Let's complete this task and I can find you. I think there is a very good one too. I'm forgetting the name. I'll let you know. I haven't cleared OSCP, but for sure, I have went to that path too. I'm working towards the penetration tester 1, which I think I need to get my fundamentals more strong. Awesome. Yeah, let's do this and we'll do that. Thanks. So on click, get element. So this one, first thing it will do is, I'll remove this part. Basically, it's first adding a button. I'll remove this part because I don't want the script to keep changing to that. Okay. So as you can see, there is a button now added, right? But it's not going to do anything because we haven't added the part with the event, right? To what to do when somebody clicks it. Let's add that. On click, inside this web page, whenever you see document inside the web page, right? Replace the document with web page in your mind. Get element by ID, name of the element whose name, get me the element whose name is demo, change its inner HTML. So now you see, hack the planet, right? Oh, I have to render first, my bad. So now, hack the planet, right? As you can see, hello friend, I am AI because other one is removed. Button clicked. Amazing, right? And it's important to know that this should match this. If it doesn't, I'll show you what goes. Nothing is going to happen. But if it does, the magic will happen. Beautiful. Easy, simple. So let's complete that. And OSCP, let's talk about that. I love and I think everybody, if you are here for cybersecurity, want to get a job, my brother, Unfair Rabbit, right, brought this good question up. OSCP. OSCP is one of the, if you're looking for a job, go on Indeed, right? And if you look for any certification out of cybersecurity, the best one, the one with the most jobs out there will be OSCP. Just want to show everybody how good it is. You see, so many jobs, more than 5+ pages, good pay and everything. So let's go on YouTube and find something. So there is this one, then there is dev skills actually here only. So let's see first OSCP. I want to see if anybody, OSCP will fail. So this is a good blog. OSCP, how I passed 30 days, the journey from noob to slightly smarter noob. Okay. I was able to achieve a passing score for second OSCP attempt. So this one, let's look quickly in this one. Preparation, initial access, privilege escalation, TryHackMe's junior penetration path, right? Then we have TJ null. I don't know about that. TNCP courses. I feel stuck at the Active Directory part of OSCP. Always have to look into write-ups and walkthroughs. I see. Okay, so I think I will tell you this actually. Somebody said this thing with TryHackMe's PT1, right? This PT1 penetration tester one. They focus a lot on the Active Directory, so that might be helpful. And I will give you this first of all, and let's see what they have active. Active Directory is a huge sphere of knowledge, and there is just so many attacks. I think this guy did a good job in writing this article. Crap map, execution, impact, LDAP, Krynos attack. I know about that. Okay. So I'll post this link, right, if you like. Hopefully this is helpful. OSCP, let's see. I don't know if this one specifically needs the Python, but I can assume it probably will need coding. That's for sure. Let's see. Does it need like unfair habit? Do you think? What is your thought? Does it need the stuff? Python. It doesn't talk about Python in his article, so that's interesting. That's one. Oh, I should upvote. New pattern 2022. No. Hack the box. Okay. Another thing again this guy mentioned really well was TryHackMe. There is there's a specific part for if you go here, right, on junior penetration tester. They also focused a lot on this Active Directory. Learn. Let's go on learn. So one obviously will be here inside. Not really, no need to know how to edit the already available exploits. So a bit of Python C would definitely help, but not mandatory. That's a good, thank you. That's a good message. That's a good message. I'm happy like they don't need this. That's good. Okay, we have here Active Directory exploitation, domain and object enumeration, common Active Directory attacks, and pivoting and lateral movement basics. Okay, so recommended learnings. So lateral movement and pivoting, credential harvesting, Active Directory basic enumeration, automated enumeration. So I think hopefully this is helpful, boss. Probably you can, for practicing, I think you can start with this, right? Go here, now increase it. Yep, this looks good. We'll have a look. Awesome. I'm happy, man. I'm happy I'm able to help, even though I don't know much. But yeah, and another thing actually, one thing actually helps me whenever I'm doing something, right? Like if I'm going for CTFs or what. Do these, like I think a lot of them have labs, so you can just practice those. One would be go to challenges and say Active Directory. Do they have type? Okay. No worries, brother. I'm so happy you asked this question also. So Attactive Directory, that's an interesting name. That might be good. So I will just say AD, no. Oh wait, I can actually get you something very awesome. Active Direct. Regarding what, bro? App regarding what? So if you go on Active Directory rooms, there must be exploiting Active Directory, TryHackMe room breaching. Okay. TIA plus. There is no specific. I can ask somebody what I can do. TryHackMe app. Oh, I don't think they have an app. I don't think so. It's just basically a website. It's a website, yeah. That, yep, I do hack the box and have done 50, 60. Oh, wow. Try to not to look for lookups. Always stuck at Windows Active Directory hard boxes. Nice. If you're at hard boxes, I'm very. I would love to. Do you make videos too? I would love to see. Okay, I'll still subscribe. Nice. That if you're doing hard ones, that's crazy. But yeah, Akshay, try hack me and hack the box. My starting was hack the box. Amazing. I love hack the box, no doubt. But what I will say, my suggestion, right, would be that hack the box is a bit harder in the start. I will say try hack me has a better path for newbies. But if you want to actually test your skills, want to do some cool stuff, or like reach that level, hack the box is good one. But if you're starting, TryHackMe is great, and if you don't want to pay for paid subscription, right? One, there is free. You don't have to pay. There are a lot of free sites and a lot of free information. But let's say if you want to go, also, Unfair Rabbit. I think OneHub might also have some stuff. But yeah, OneHub is another beautiful website for these kind of stuff. And for you, Akshay, I will say you can follow what I'm doing because I'm starting PreSecurity. Good for a lot of people who are new to cybersecurity, right? It's basically PreSecurity path. Here, this one. PreSecurity is good. I will say that for sure. Because what we have covered is introduction to cybersecurity, normal things, networking fundamentals, and right now we are at how the web works. Next week is all Linux. It's all Linux. Oh, yep. Actually, Offstack provides all OneHub machines for free. Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's dope. That's dope. I like that. That's a good investment. If you get like with the bundle, you're getting all this. Nice. Thank you. I never knew that. And also like Unfair Rabbit. If let's say Akshay, people like me who are new, right, within 1 year of cybersecurity, just going through stuff, what you would suggest? What are good starting points to OSCP? Can you drop your what's this called suggestions? And yeah, let's go back to, and hopefully I answered your questions. Hopefully it's helpful, right? Now let's go to our next topic. We covered HTML, JavaScript. Now let's look at sensitive data exposure. Sensitive data exposure is, let's say if you are at Facebook, right? And it's revealing some sensitive data about you, right? Or Amazon, sensitive data would be your house is exposed to the world or in somebody else who it should not be exposed to. Your credit card information is exposed. Anything that is sensitive in nature. Sensitive data exposure occurs when a website doesn't properly protect or remove sensitive clear text information to the end user. Remember, end user basically somebody who's using the website or their application or something like that. Usually found in sites' front end source code. Good example would be, let's say if I go here, I don't want to show on YouTube, but oh wait, we look for, I'll see it later. But yeah, if let's say I'm here, right, I'm logged in and stuff. In here, somewhere my information is there. If you're new to programming, I will go with the very unpopular opinion, but this has helped me. Either start with C++ or Java. Do not start with Python. Depends on what you want to do. I think if you just want to be a hacker, you can still do a lot of things with Python, but to bring good fundamentals, start with JavaScript. Sorry, Java. Sorry, start with Java or start with C++. Helps you understand a lot of things and then move to Python. That's my opinion, but maybe I'm biased because I feel that builds a good one. And there are a lot of great tools. Free Code Camp, or let me post that website here. This one have to. Free Code Camp, beautiful website, great stuff, right? Another one which I love. Are you are a student? Are you a student of a university or a school, high school? If you are in university or if you have a education related, what's this called? Email, right, from your school or high school or stuff, go to GitHub Student Pack. Another amazing tool for everyone. If you have not used it, oh, just completed 10. Oh, congrats, bro. Congratulations. If you're starting, yeah, no, 100%. Start with C++, or if you're in 11th grade, I believe in India, they have started with Python. So stick to Python. Do look into some C++ or Java on the spare time. But yeah, if you just completed 11th, 10th grade, stick to your school one. That will help you more because your job right now is to get good grades. I'll be honest with you. In India, it's way different. That's one. Another good one will be W3 schools. And if you are looking into Python, they have good Python and Java. So this website, again, a beautiful website. This is where I started my web development journey, actually. This is where I was spending so much time in here. I loved it. And it's so good, especially for somebody like me. I didn't have good English when I was in 10th. I had horrible English. I could not read like a human being. If I'm reading, I would be like, let's see, I have this receipt. I will read Little Caesar Central Street. I was so bad. So I don't know if how good your English is. I probably it's pretty good. I can see, but yeah, this was a good one for it. And don't be shy to take help from AI to create a course for you, to ask questions, to do those things, and code as much as possible, irrespective of you are doing good or not. Because with time only you could do good. Okay, hopefully that helps. And where am I? I'm here. So now we are talking about the source code, right? Revealing of sensitive information. Let's say if I'm logged into a website like Vulnerable, and on their website itself, some information is being shown. That's very bad because since somebody else looking at my site can see all the information like my credit card info and stuff anytime, right? If I'm gone and all those. So now you know that websites are built using many HTML elements called tags, all of which we can see simply by viewing the page source code. I think AI is just, there are two things with AI. First, AI is going to, is kind of, say, yes, it will eat a lot of jobs, not necessarily programmers. Who will create AI? Who will create AI? Who will keep a check of what code AI is generating? A lot of bad programmers, yes. Good programmers, no. Second, there will be something called a soft landing. There has to be some kind of soft landing because governments have to do it all over the world. If let's say tomorrow, all the programming jobs are cut in half, governments, there are people are going to protest. There is a very beautiful saying: every nation is just 3 meals away from a revolution. What that means, let's say 3 meals is if some people haven't eaten 3 meals, they are going to create a big revolution, revolts will happen, and all those stuff, right? So if people don't get jobs, governments will lose, governments will change, people will be like, there will be a lot of chaos. So if for that not to happen, governments have to come up with a plan of soft landing so people have jobs, have food to eat. My opinion. Again, yes, there are things in long time, fertility will go down, blah blah blah. So those are of course the thing, but the way it's being projected on news channels is stupid. It won't just take away everything. It's like drones, right? Drones took away the jobs of basically some helicopters or air people, air transport people with a cameraman. But then you need somebody to replace the drone to operate drone properly. All those things. Okay, now with that being said, we know how the websites work, right? Built using many HTML elements, all of which we can simply view by viewing the stuff. So if you go right click, you can do view page source code. You'll get all the information about the HTML stuff, about this TryHackMe page or any web page you are on. A website developer may have forgotten to remove the login credentials, hidden links to private parts of the website, or other sensitive data shown in the HTML or JavaScript. Why this is interesting, right? Let me show you with a very fun example. Let's say I wrote sensitive data exposure occurs when a website, okay? And I clicked here. Technically it's not shown on the website, right? What I have to do, Control F, Control V. Let's see if I see something. It should be, didn't came the way I wanted it, but let's say if I click here, oh, I can view page source code. Let's see. Sensitive data, no. Interesting. Okay, so we have to do it this way then. Sensitive data, this. I know I'm here, then there is data. When it's clicked, I'm just looking through the button, what happens when it's clicked or when the whole thing is clicked. False, blah, blah, blah. Basically, I will see the information somewhere here if I keep going down the path. Path file, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now I have to find the ID, basically the journal idea, because this will take some time. Basically, the idea is when this thing is clicked, this task 4 is clicked, there is a on click button, just like we did for the website, on click button in the JavaScript, where you can see the JavaScript here. Now, if I go, let's see if this is here. No. In one of the JavaScript files, I should be able to see some place where the information, where this sensitive data exposure stuff will be. And if, let's say, this is here, now I can do a quick search. I can find it here. So you don't know what things are hidden, what are not hidden, and you can just look at all the information by viewing the page source code. And so much. Can I see sensitive? No, it's not doing a search. Sensitive should be there. But yeah, the first search is not true. Hopefully that makes sense. Basically, find the ID, find the element, and you will be able to see the extra information. Now, we know the websites are built using, oh, my bad, sensitive data, right? Sensitive information can be potentially leveraged to further an attacker's access within different parts of a web application. For example, there would be HTML comments with temporary login credentials, and if you viewed the website's page source codes and found them, for here, in this image we have somebody commented out the remove test credentials admin password 123. So I know in this website for the form these are two credentials. This is a credential admin and password 123, and I can use it. I don't need to find brute force or anything, right? you could use these credentials to log in elsewhere on the application, right? So we can try to hack other pages too. Don't mind, can I ask you about which streamer should I follow, PCM or Diploma? Which stream? Okay, PCM or what is Diploma? What's it like in 11th grade? What's the diploma for that mean? But yeah, going back. So PCM, for people who don't understand, it was physics, chemistry, maths in India. So we have credentials in here, or worse, you would be able to access other backend components of the site. So we can use this for API keys. That actually happened with Perplexity. That happened with Perplexity. Perplexity, if you look, API keys are basically ways to look through stuff, right? Perplexity API keys. Attackers who decompile the app can easily extract these secrets, misuse them to gain unauthorized access. Perplexity AI contains hard-coded keys, API keys. Somebody will be able to access those hard-coded keys. That's what it's talking about. This is such a good example here, right? This has happened to Perplexity. They hard-coded their API keys. API keys are basically, let's say, authentication like a password if you're using a service or basically API. Whenever you are accessing a web application for security issues, one of the things you should do is review the page source to see if you can find any exposed login credentials. So first thing to do, look at the page source code. View the website on this link. What is the password hidden in the source code? Do we have a website? So we have this website. What happens with this? Oh, okay, this opens like that. So that's much better. So we have this website by TryHackMe, static website, right? There's webs in this. We can either do inspect or we can just click or view page source code. Both will work. Now let's look what here it says. How the website works, style, blah, blah, blah. Vulnerable site, logo, and you can see button on login, there is a form, but to remove the test credential, we have admin and test password as the credentials. So let's do that. Admin, test password, dish. Congratulations, we are inside. We are in. That's it. What is the password hidden in the source code? Test password. Which language is this? This is basically HTML, boss. This is HTML. HTML5 version, basically. It has certain, like, this is calling a CSS file, right? It's mentioning a CSS file. But basically, this is HTML. If you want to learn about web, again, W3 Schools is the best for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The best website. You don't need anything else after that. You will be in a very good position. No. It's not hard. Trust me. It looks overwhelming. It's not hard. It's overwhelming. I understand that. But important thing, right? Think about anything in the world, right? You did 9th grade. You did 10th grade recently. For somebody with, let's say, 8th grade or 7th grade, right? If you looked at the course, you will be like, oh, this is overwhelming. You take one by one step consistency. Think about my YouTube channel, but my YouTube channel took me 6 months almost now to reach 200 subscribers, right? I don't know which I'm 283 subscribers, I think. That's what I see here. But 283 subscribers took 6 months, right? Consistency, 5 viewers at one point. That's crazy good. I'm so happy and so many messages coming. It takes time. Stay consistent. Trust me. I'm here every day, Monday to Friday. Come talk to me. Ask me for help. I'm there. Oh, 284. Thank you. Yeah, like just come talk to me. We'll chat. I can help you anyway. And for anyone who also needs help, right? Easiest way to reach me, my Discord server, I'm there. Ask me a question, I will answer. Right? Join this if you would like to, or you can just come here, right? Chat with me, or Twitter or Instagram, whichever you like. And do not worry, it's overwhelming, but it happens to everyone. AI is overwhelming to me. I'm stressed. But I do take it one by one. It's normal. Don't you worry. Now, we talk about another vulnerability. This is more fun. HTML injection. HTML injection is a vulnerability that occurs when unfiltered user input is displayed on the page. If a website fails to sanitize user input, filter any malicious text that a user inputs into a website, and that input is used on the page, an attacker can inject HTML code into a vulnerable website. What this means? Oh, I think YouTube live. Yeah, it does. There is some latency. Oh, I got. What happened? Oh, Ben. Dude. Hey buddy, how's it going? So everybody who's heard that sound, that was from Twitch. Ben subscribed. He threw money at me. So thank you so much, buddy. How are you doing? How's everything? That's my man. How are you, bro? How are you? Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much. Yeah, and we are talking about some interesting stuff today. We talked about so many things, but right now we are at HTML injection and what this means, right? Let me draw. Oh, I'm thinking. Oh, I got so many subs today. Oh, Ben, Rover, no, holy. 5 TS sub 1. Oh my god. What's going on? What's going on? Epic Ninja. You sorry. Yeah. Okay, I'll get back to work. Holy. Okay, let me reduce this volume for a bit. Okay. Okay, that was it. I think that was it. Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. You are my big guy. No. So Akshay, what happens is there is the two things. There on YouTube, subscribe means like for example on Facebook somebody followed you, right? On Twitch, equivalent of that is follow. YouTube subscriber, Twitch is follow, but Twitch subscriber is like somebody paid me, like let's say somebody supported my stream by getting a membership. Just like on YouTube we have membership, somebody got me a membership for that. So that my man's name is ROV, basically 3R and 22. This is he's Ben. He has the one who has subscribed me the most. So thank you so much, Ben. This guy is amazing. Thank you so much, bud. But yeah, that wasn't a hack. He hacked my heart, definitely. But yeah, let's go back to HTML specifically, right? HTML injection, what that is. As we read, remember, break things down and learn, right? Anything you can learn by breaking it into smaller pieces and learning one by one. HTML injection is a vulnerability that occurs when unfiltered user input is displayed on page. So we have we have this page. Let's say we are on Facebook, right? Facebook.com. Oh, I should have used blue. I like blue for Facebook. So let's say we are on Facebook.com, right? And you want to add some comment. right? And for a normal person like you and me, like we are texting right now, we will add something very simple, small, anything, right? But, but, uh, a hacker, what they will do, this is Facebook's server. So on Facebook, if we add, let's say, a comment, what happens is this comment goes to the server, is added. I got another one. What's going on? Oh, thank you for the follow, boss. Thank you for the follow. Thanks, C. Plata. Thanks, man. But yeah, as I was saying, right? Simply, we add a comment. The server, it's added on the server. That action happens, and on the website we get it back, and you can see that the comment was added. Now, as a hacker, what I will do, I instead of adding a normal comment, right? I can add some code. I can add something that's malicious in nature. For example, I can add another script. I can give it a source, let's say hacked.js script. This legit I can add type on Facebook's comment, on this YouTube live, on Twitch, anywhere I can add, right? This thing now will be added to server. If the server is not sanitizing, now if a website fails to sanitize user input, if it does not remove these things, like this part, sanitizing, right? Some looking at things and removing the unnecessary, the malicious part, what will happen? This script will be displayed on Facebook, and this this hack.js, this file will be executed, leading to a hack. You might think, oh, this is not possible. This has happened. I'm giving you an example right now. It's called Sammy Worm. You might have heard of, if you have heard of Facebook, before Facebook, the big social media was called, I think it was something, what was the name? MySpace. MySpace was the name. This guy created a virus that will run on all these websites, right? And he became the guy who had like most friends on MySpace because it exploded. That how, like, his script will make anyone who loads their web page, his script will be added and he will become the friend. And it was like, let's say for example, if I ran this script on Twitter, on YouTube or Instagram, and I become the most followed or most subscribed person, imagine what will happen. You want to know what? I will be going to jail. That's what will happen. And best one is this. If anybody is new who is into want to learn hacking, my easiest. Oh, I heard a hype. Open to see your reward. Oh, I want to see. Hey. Oh, I got something. Oh, nice. Thanks, Ben. I got a new emoji, lads. Who is this diva? But yeah, anyone who is into hacking, cybersecurity, dark net diaries, go on walks every day, listen to this. I cannot tell you I listened to I've walked for 2-3 hours just listening to this guy. Amazing content. Amazing content. Nice. Thanks, man. But yeah, so that's a very thing. Go listen to this. 100% you will be interested in, you will be hooked to hacking. There is no way you would be like not hooked. Okay, so now we were talking about malicious content, right? And the input is used on the page. So the input we typed, that will go back to the wherever the comment was, wherever the Facebook page, timeline, whatever it is, right? An attacker can inject HTML code into vulnerable websites. So like MySpace, let's say Twitter had it, and all those stuff. Those type of thing. It's too good. They have covered Kashmir controversy in one of the yeah. It's crazy, man. They covered really, and this guy actually at least looked into doing the research, unlike a lot of people. So he did a good job in that for sure. You know the most interesting thing, I don't know if I should show it, but like how good hackers are, right? world's best toilet paper in the world. That was it. So if you go on news, I believe this is what hackers did to Google's algorithm. That when the Kashmir controversy, whatever, we know what Pakistan does, right? This is what happened. Hackers of India tricked Google's algorithm so bad that when you type world's best toilet paper, for years it was Pakistan's flag. So this is what hackers can do. Just interesting stuff. They have their own ways, man. They have their own ways. Just wanted to share this so to show you that even Google is not safe, man. Google could not do anything for years because that's how badly they tricked their algorithm. They killed it. So any website is vulnerable at the end of the day. Now, input sanitization is very important in keeping a website secure. As information a user inputs into a website is often used in other front-end and back-end functionality. So let's say I'm putting my date of birth. It will let me allow on certain websites and some not, right? It's a front-end and back-end functionality. A vulnerability you will explore in another lab is database injection, which we'll talk about later, where you can manipulate a database lookup query to log in as another user by controlling the input that's directly used in the query. So what it means, let's say if I'm doing Facebook login, right? I added some code into it so that I'm able to access somebody else's account, right? That's what this is. The word for that is SQL injection. But for now, let's focus on HTML injection. Good call. When a user has control of how their input is displayed, they can submit HTML or JavaScript code. Remember, they're asking us text, but I inputted in comment. When you go on Facebook comment, they're asking for a simple text. I typed in a JavaScript. That's why it says submit HTML, but I typed JavaScript. And the browser will use it on the page, allowing the user to control the page's appearance and functionality. A big thing before we reach into it, right? You were asking Akshay about like which language to go. Interesting thing, right? Always go for a language that is like popular, is getting updates. Why? There are certain languages, let's say if you used, for example, PHP is still a great language, 100%, but let's say PHP is, nobody's updating it, nobody's working on it, right? Now, a lot of websites use it sanitize. There are multiple inbuilt functions you can use. You don't have to create your own sanitize function. But let's say you use their own, right? Now what will happen? If in time some vulnerability is found in this inbuilt function of theirs, any website which uses this particular function, which is running on PHP and uses this function, can get hacked. So it's very important to write just when you are picking up a language, go for first fundamentals and also pick one which is like getting updated. There's a community behind it. The word is community behind it, I think. That's why Bitcoin is Bitcoin, right? Okay, now let me download this image so it will be easier for everyone. Okay, can I just see here? Okay. So we have user types information into the input field. No, not happy with it. Okay, let me just download it. Sure. This is a SVG, not a. Okay, never mind then. So we have user types information into the input field. So what is your name? Let's say we are on Facebook, it asks what is my name. The input is used in a JavaScript function to show the name of the page. So this is the code of the, when you type in the input, it says function. Oh, let me hide myself. Might be easier for you guys to see. Hopefully it's easier, right? So script is, and this is a PHP. You can see that based on the tag, you can tell it's a PHP. function say hi const name, basically a constant creating a variable who's creating a variable name, document get element by id name, basically what is the value of the name. Let's say it is censored hacker for me, or Akshay for you, right? Or Rover Ben, right? Document get element by ID, welcome message to inner HTML. Welcome and the name. So changing, first we got the name from one element, and in the second element, welcome message element, we are typing welcome and the name of the person. How it works? JavaScript is, oh, okay, they use JavaScript, okay. Looks like PHP. Is used to, in a JavaScript function to show the name, right? Now it says welcome Fred blogs. No input is sanitized, so you can write your own HTML or JavaScript and it will be used on the page. So I can type whatever I want. Panda, what's up? Yo, yo, yo. How's it going? So now let's look what is happening. So hopefully you understand. You typed in your name, the functionality, the JavaScript. The question mark should not be there. That's bothering me. The JavaScript takes the name and puts it in the website itself. I'm good too, Panda. Thank you so much for asking. So people are wondering, that's stuff. Panda, panda, panda. Okay, now look at this. The image above shows how a form outputs text on the page. Whatever you see here, how this works. Whatever the user inputs into what's your name field is passed to JavaScript function and the output to the page, which means if the user adds their own HTML or JavaScript in the field, so instead of typing just my text name, number 2 fan just saying, oh yeah, Ben stole the game today. Ben stole it, 100%. But yes, and no, you are also number 1, dude. You are also number 1 for me. Everyone who helps me support, right, making my dream come true is big. But yeah, Ben stole the show today. But yeah, sorry, going back. When whatever it is asking for text, right? But what we did, we typed some JavaScript or HTML code. Let's say if the user adds their own HTML or JavaScript in the field, it's used in the say hi function. This guy, where's the function name? If you see, it's called say hi. This is the function name. And is added to the page. This means you can add your own HTML, such as h1 tag, that will output in pure HTML. The general rule is never to trust user input. To prevent malicious input, the website developer should sanitize everything the user enters before using it in the JavaScript function. In this case, the developer could remove any HTML tags. So what I can do is basically, let's say if somebody typed in, as a good developer, what I should do. You guys can say it's a tie. What a wholesome conversation going. I like it. But yes, what I've meant is, let's say if I have h1, this is what I'm going to type. Let's say I typed, I should not type my names, censored hacker. I typed censored hacker as my name with the HTML tag, right? A good developer, right? What they should do, they should look at anything with these type of extra characters, because names don't have these things, right? Remove them or change how they look, right? Once they do that, that's sanitizing. And to understand what they will do, let's say if I type something and somebody names actual, like Elon goes crazy, names his kid as script. If something like this happens, right? HTML ampersand LTNGT. So here HTML entities, right, less than can be represented with this code. So what a developer, another thing a developer can do, convert this into ampersand and less than LT. This one thing will convert to this, and now this is sanitized. This will not change or create any issues on the HTML. View the website on this. So hopefully you understand, look into sanitization. It's a very interesting thing to look into. What the website on this task and inject it, view the website on this task and inject the HTML so the malicious link to hacker.com is shown. Okay, so let's hack it. View website. We have vulnerable-site.com. Can I open it in different page? It's the same website, so I'll just open in a different page. Here. Okay, we have this vulnerable site, HTML data exposure. Okay, it's probably not going to work. All good. So let's say what we have here is the name. Let's say I type my name, censored hacker. Say hi. Okay. Censored hacker. Welcome, censored hacker. Simple. Now I type this and see the change in the game. H1 is a tag, right? Heading 1. This will increase the font of my name. Well, it should increase the font. You see how big it becomes? Now, what the website is telling us to do is, hey, what I want you to do is inject the HTML so the malicious link is shown. So if this link is shown, what I can do is, let's say if I go a normal thinking process, right, for you guys, http:// hacker.com. I'll copy this. Nothing, right? One thing I can do is, there is something called an anchor tag, starts with A, right? And a property of this attribute is called href, where the links go, right? And you have seen it whenever you go on a website, right? Let's say I go to this, I go to Wikipedia is a good. You see these blue text, these are links, right? How it works in the backend, or how you want to do it, like a href, and I will put quotes around it. Let's say link A. So link like this, HTML injection. But if you see, if I click on this, right, it will go to hacker.com. Simple. I can make it actually go to an interesting page. So let's see, because this is my website. So I will go to hackerspub.org. Oh, I forgot code. Now let's say if I click on this, oh, it's not going. It's in this environment. But technically, what it should do, if I click on this, it should go to this website's link, just like it happens in Wikipedia, right? And we can see quickly. You see a href wiki. This is the link, mass mortality event on this. So if I go, the link will be Wikipedia's wiki mass mortality event. That's HTML is simple. Just break it things down. It's very simple language. It's not even, it's a markup language, not a programming language. Okay, that's a wrap for this part. Now let's look at putting it all together. This one took more time than I thought, but let's look at putting it all together and complete this part. So, putting it all together. Learn how all the individual components of web works together to bring you access to your favorite website. what we are going to look is how all the things, all the game. Okay, now I can transition. Sorry, I want to show my face. So now we will look at all the things we learned, how the website at the end of the day is displayed, how the Facebook works, kind of. Okay, putting it all together. Task 1. From the previous modules, you will have learned that quite a lot of things go behind the scenes when you request a web page in your browser. To summarize, when you request a website, your computer needs to know the server's IP address. It needs to talk to. For this, it uses DNS. So basically, when you go to facebook.com, where the server is, right? I don't know, it's just me, but you sound like a robot. Oh, me? Oh. Do anybody else have any, like, with the sound? Like, am I okay? Maybe. Sometimes, maybe. I'm an immigrant, man. I am an immigrant. English is my third, fourth language, probably. I'm AI, actually. I never told you guys. I'm not a real human. I'm an AI. From all these years, all these months, I tricked you. I'm an AI. Okay, going back. So when you type facebook.com, right? Somebody is hosting it. It's on some server, right? AI cyber news. Yeah. Okay, but let's say when you go to a website, facebook.com, somewhere it's being, some server has that website. So Facebook servers have that website. But how do they know? Same idea as I explained before, right? When you are calling a friend, what do? You don't remember their phone number. What do is remember their name, right? So in your phone, you say, okay, I want to like call Sunset Hacker. This is his whole phone number. I want to call Ben. This is their phone number. I want to call Panda. Is their phone number, right? A directory is there. Same thing happens in the real world when we have on servers, right? We have a link, or basically the URL and the IP mentioned. And what is this called? This is called DNS. Simple. DNS is like a directory, like your phone directory. So when you call for facebook.com, DNS looks for the IP address and sends your request to that the server. Your computer needs to know the server's IP address. You need to know which phone number to call, right? It needs to talk to. For this, it uses DNS, like you use directory. Your computer then talks to the web server using a special set of commands called HTTP protocol. The web server then returns HTML, JavaScript, and CSS images, etc., like videos, when you go to websites, which your browser then uses to correctly format and display the websites to you. So that's how basically things work. And you probably like now know it if you followed like last two streams, right? There's also a few other components that help the web run more efficiently and provide extra features. So let's read through it. Other components, load balancer. This is big, baby. This is big. Load balancer is one of the most interesting, like one of the things I had so many fights about in the whole world. Like if this is one of those topics in tech I had fights about. But when a website's traffic starts getting quite large and is running an application that needs to have high availability, one server might no longer do the job. What it means, right? In simple words, Facebook has 3 billion plus users, right? Facebook.com, right? 3 billion plus users, man. You understand, like that's half of the earth, right? 3 billion plus users, right? One server cannot handle all this information, right? When somebody goes on the internet, they search for facebook.com, they can't handle this. 3 billion people want to go to facebook.com. So what Facebook does, right? They create multiple servers. Keep creating. They create them. Cloud, I will tell you this. So cloud is multiple servers, right? Cloud itself is multiple servers. Yes. But question is, if there are like 5 servers and facebook.com keeps reaching one, because every server will have one IP address, it reaches one, what's the point of having so many servers, right? So we need a way to direct all this traffic so that all these servers are equally balanced. All of them are getting an equal amount of traffic. And that's called a load balancer. LB for short. Load balancer will say, okay, how many servers do I have? I'm connected to these 4, right? Now what this guy will do is like distributing food, right? It will say, okay, I'm getting 3 billion. I'll send the first one here, second one here, third one here, fourth one here. And it keeps a check because, for example, let's say first person and second person are doing heavy stuff on Facebook, like are connected, but third and fourth person left early. Why do website? Depends on the reason, boss. Depends on the reason. There are so many reasons a website can crash, but one reason being, let's say, if there was just one Facebook server and a lot of people reached on facebook.com, right? What it will do? The whole server is used up, right? Whole server is used up. So many things are happening. There are not enough resources to handle the request, and that's one reason why a server might crash. So, and if a website crashes, there are some idiots who say, oh, our website crashed, how good our traffic is and all those. No, your system is bad. Your system is bad. I can create a site that will have like, that can only handle 5 requests. I DDoS it, done. I'm just the most famous person on the world. Just saying, I know some creators have done that, so I'm just calling them out. But load balancer, in this guy doesn't let that happen. It will keep distributing the traffic, but let's say at one point it will notice a good load balancer will say, okay, this much for server 1 and 2, only this much is filled, and server 3 is this much filled. Same with server 4. What will happen? All the new requests will go to server 1 and 2. And that's how the game works. Oh yeah, DDoS is super. I can show you actually how to do it. I think Orient, that's the name. I can do it from my house right now. This is the DDoS software. I thought it was named Orient or something like that. Okay, it is for protection. Never mind. But there are DDoS softwares. There is DDoS you can rent. So you can ask cloud companies to do DDoS for you, or you can actually DDoS from one computer using some software, DDoS software. Best how to DDoS attack tools, right? GitHub. You can use a simple Python file to do DDoS. Best DDoS attack script Python 3. There we go. This guy created, and so many graphs shows what's great. So this is how easy it is to create a DDoS attack. If I'm doing it, I will rent some free credits on cloud, one of the cloud companies, and just use those to DDoS a bunch of whatever websites I want. But yeah, hopefully you understand the load balancer. The need of load balancer is to make sure all the servers requests are getting every server is getting a proper amount of server request, right? Not one person is getting overwhelmed with a lot of things. It's balancing the load. It's in the name, right? Now let's read through this again to understand it better. When a website's traffic starts getting quite large or is running an application that needs to have high availability, Facebook needs to be available 24/7, Google needs to be available 24/7. One web server might no longer do the job. Load balancer provide two main features: ensuring high traffic website can handle the load, right? Facebook, and providing a failover if a server goes unresponsive. So now this is the beautiful thing. Let's say for whatever reason, right? For some error, server 4 is done, right? Is gone, right? What this load balancer will do, it will know, okay, now it will say, okay, I know this server is gone, right? I know this one. So it will remove this connection. It will say, okay, till the server 4, right? There is no traffic going. It's still going to try to talk to the server, but it will say till this server comes back on, till this server is good, is going to only send traffic to these 3 servers. It will try to get a healthy response. It's called a health check. The right word is health check. If you are in cloud and stuff, it's called health check. That's the name. It will do a health check. When only the health check passes, then only it will start sending the traffic back. If not, it will just send to these 3 servers. And it also can start if it's given enough permission, it can start a 4th server if based on what you have suggested load or given the permission to load balancer to do. So 2 main features: ensuring high traffic website can handle the load, right? All the servers have equal load. Providing a failover. If one web server goes down, becomes unresponsive, it takes care of that situation as well. When you request, and there are multiple different levels of load balancer, there are different layers, OSI layers we learned, different layers. Mostly what we are talking about is the application layer one. When you request a website, and the idea is same though, idea is same. When you request a website with a load balancer, the load balancer will receive your request first, then forward it to one of the multiple servers behind it. The load balancer uses different algorithms to help it decide which server is best to deal with the request. Which algorithms, if you want to know, it's another very interesting thing. Just you can watch a YouTube video in 5 minutes to understand. Balancer algorithms. Just some good round robin is I think it's a really good one. There is weighted round robin, which is a better version of it. But there are like 5, 6. And you can look at either AWS or a YouTube video to help understand what's going on particularly. A couple of examples of these algorithms are round robin. And it's the most famous one I can say too, which sends it to each server in turn, the one we talked about. Or weighted, which checks how many requests a server is currently dealing with and send it to the least busy one, right? So weighted round robin will check which server is like filled more, right? Is getting more requests, and it will send to the other one. Load balancer also perform periodic checks with each server to ensure they are running correctly. This whole line, the word is health check. It's periodically checking. It's checking the health of all these servers to make sure they are running. This is called health check. Okay. If a server doesn't respond appropriately or doesn't respond at all, the load balancer will stop sending the traffic until it responds appropriately again, until it gives you back a health check. Simple. Now, content delivery network. This is where cloud shines. Load balancer is also where cloud shines, but it's content delivery network. A CDN can be an excellent resource for cutting down traffic to a busy website. It allows you to host static files from your server or your website, such as JavaScript, CSS, images, videos, and host them across thousands of servers all over the world. What it means, right? Let's say if I have created a website with like a bunch of research papers. What I can do is using the CDN, these are also servers, special type of servers. They will be in thousands of CDN servers all across the globe. When a user requests one of the hosted files, one of the research papers, let's say, the CDN works out where the nearest server is physically located and sends the request there instead of potentially the other side of the world. Let's say this is the world, right? Let's say if we are looking at the world map, this is here we have America. South America. I don't know what I created, but and then here we have whole whatever Asia, right? Now, to give you example, right? Asia, Europe, and what's this called? Asia, Europe, Africa, right? Let's say that thing. So let's say if somebody's in Mumbai, right, or in India, wants to access the stuff like Facebook, there is no point in sending them their traffic to America, right? Doesn't make sense. Or like my research papers website, they won't not going to send it here. What will do, right? Let's say if there was another one in Dubai, the traffic will go from India to Dubai instead of all the way across the world. That's what the whole idea of CDN is. Host so many servers near with these static stuff, the small files, that a user request will go to one of the nearest server. Nearest physically located server sends the request there instead of potentially other side of the stuff. Another thing, interestingly, I don't think we have it here. It's called edge computing. Have a look at this. Because a lot of people at one point said that cloud will be dying and edge computing will take over. So have a look at what edge computing is. It's a cool thing, still a thing, but the hype was too much. Now let's look at databases. Often websites will need a way of storing information for their users. Web servers can communicate with databases to store and recall data from them. Databases can range from just a plain text file, "Thank you Facebook for putting all my password in a text file," up to complex clusters of multiple servers providing send speed and resilience. You will come across common databases: MySQL, MS, Microsoft SQL, MongoDB, Postgres, and stuff. Okay, so now here's the game. Facebook is such a big company. Instead of, again, same thing like here, right? We had like these servers. Same thing happened with the databases. There are so many databases, right? What happens with this now is let's say if all these servers are also databases. Instead of we have actual servers, we have database servers, special kind of servers. What the whole game is, let's say this one is in America, this one is in Europe, this one is in India. These ones will always remain in sync. These are all databases. Let's say if I'm in London, my request will go to Europe's database, but they will always be in sync. So let's say if somebody is trying to access the same information from America or India, they will not be able. They won't see different versions of truth. Example being ATM machines, right? When you take out some money from your bank account, these servers will make sure that they are so fast, there certain security encoding is in place that if any action happens quickly, it's replicated in other servers, so nobody can able to take, like, let's say instead of 100 they are taking 300 but still shows 100. That's how this works. WAF, web application firewall. This is an interesting thing too. A WAP sits on your web request and the web server. Its primary purpose is to protect the web server from hacking or DDoS attack, denial of service attacks, right? Great example being Cloudflare or even any of the cloud companies, but Cloudflare has good information on it. It analyzes the web request for common attack techniques, whether request is from a real browser rather than a bot. It also checks if an excessive amount of web requests are being sent by utilizing something called rate limiting, right? So let's say if I start like spamming a website, so it checks for that, which will only allow a certain amount of requests from an IP per second. If a request is deemed a potential attack, it is dropped and sent over to web server. Let me show you a real life example. Oh, it didn't come this time. Let's say I'm going here. No, do not log me in. You see this? like these captchas and all these are similar type of stuff that we see. So they make sure the bots are not happening doing this. And if I go, let's say, what was the website? Not Facebook. I just went through it. HTML, Sammy, Maybe Indeed. I think it was Indeed. Okay. Let's check. You see this? Cloudflare is sitting on top of it, right? So that no bots or things like that are attacking it. And that's what Cloudflare's WAF do to protect from DDoS attacks. This one will send all the traffic to Cloudflare, and only the ones which are actual will go to the Facebook.com, Stack Overflow, Indeed, and all those sites. That's how WAF works, while website application firewall. What can be used to host static websites, speed up the client's visit to a website? Please let me know the answers. I would love to hear some good answers, right? And so I will read the file. I'll read all the questions. I would love to hear some answers, and then I will solve it. What does a load balancer perform to make sure a host is still alive? What can be used to help against hacking of a website? So, first one, hosting static website, the example of request going from India to Dubai instead of America, CDN. Load balancer, the thing to make sure the server is actually able to handle the request and everything is okay. Answer for that would be health check. It's checking its health, right? Next, what can be used to help against hacking of a website? Firewall. Come on. How web servers work? How web servers work? Let's see how it is. Okay, good. Not much. So we are able to finish it and get on with our day or night, whatever it is. How web servers work? What is a web server? A web server is a software that listens for incoming connections and then utilizes the HTTP protocol to deliver web content to its client. Basically, this is the server, right? A web server, the one hosting a website. The most common, just making sure. No messages. Okay, cool. The most common web server software you will come across is Apache, Nginx, IIS by Microsoft, and Node.js. You probably have seen this. Nginx is a very big one. We saw yesterday when we were making commands, right? A web server delivers files from what's called its root directory. What is a root directory, right? To simply explain, when you have a computer, right? How the computer works, right? There is, let's say, your username, your user, or it's called actually, for anybody who is coming from Windows stuff, right? It's in the C drive. Then in the C drive, there is like, let's say, desktop. There's users and a couple of things, but let's say there's desktop. There is download and yada yada yada. And if I look at desktop, above desktop there is C drive, but above C drive there is nothing. So this becomes my root directory. Root directory always goes by just this, a backslash. So a web server delivers files from what is called its root directory, which is defined in the software setting. Where is the root directory? I can change what is defined for for that software. What is its root directory? For example, Nginx and Apache share the same default location, var www html. When you hack a website, a web server, this is your location. In Linux operating system, and IIS, see the C drive. Init pub www root for Windows operating system. So for example, if you requested file, this one picture.jpg from example.com, it will be looking for the file inside this folder, the root folder, and picture.jpg from your local hard drive or from the web server's hard drive. Virtual host. Web servers can host multiple websites with different domains name. So just like, in your Netflix can have multiple movies, right? If Netflix can have multiple movies, a server can have multiple websites like Netflix, Facebook, and all those. Web servers can hold multiple websites with different domains name, right? Facebook, Netflix.com, blah, blah, blah. To achieve this, they use virtual host. A web server software checks the host name being requested from the HTTP headers. So it checks which is the host name, right? When you send a request, all that information goes and matches that against its virtual host, its configurations, to see which place to look for. If it finds a match, the correct website will be provided. If no match is found, default website will be provided, being let's say 404. Hey, I did not find anything. Default website or web page is 404, not found. Virtual host can have their root directory mapped to different locations on the hard drive. Remember, it's in the settings. This one, root directory, is in the software settings. So I can change that so that the 1.com will go to website 1, 2.com will go to website 2. There is no limit to the number of websites, different websites you can host on one server as long as it has the resources. Static versus dynamic content. Static content, as the name suggests, is the content that never changes. A common example is like pictures, JavaScript, CSS, all those type of things, but can also include HTML that never changes. Sometimes HTML which don't have any JavaScript, which changes the features and stuff, is a static website or static content, static file. Furthermore, these are the files that are directly served from the web server with no changes made to them. Dynamic content, on the other hand, is the dynamic content is that they could change with different requests. Take for example a blog. On the homepage of the blog, it will show you the latest entries. If a new entry is created, the homepage is then updated with the latest entry, or a second example might be a search page on a blog. Depending on what word you search, different results can be delivered. So basically, like here, when we were searching for TryHackMe or Wikipedia, different things show up. So that's a dynamic based on what you are doing. These changes, so what you end up seeing are done is called the backend. One second, let me drink some water. That's my throat is gone. These changes, what you end up seeing, are done in what is called backend. So when you see a website, right, there is a front end, but there is things going in the back, right? When you are, let's say, going to an ATM machine, what you see on the machine versus what's going in the background in your bank account, all those things. Which uses the programming and scripting language. So this is where Python, your scripting, other Bash, Java, C#, C++, all these sites is called in the backend server. It's called the backend because what is being done is all done behind the scenes. It's all done which you can't see. That server you don't access, you don't talk to. You can't view the website's HTML. You can't view the website's HTML source and see what's happening in the backend. While the HTML is the result. While the HTML is the result of processing from the backend, everything you see in your browser is called front end. So what I see on my browser, this document we were talking, the web page, that is called a front end. But what's happening in the back end, like the things that are happening silently, which I can't see, is called backend. Scripting and backend languages. There's not much of a limit to what a backend language can't achieve. That's where AI, right? Like when you type something, what your AI is doing, that's in the backend. These are what makes a website interactive to the user. Some examples of these languages in no particular order are PHP, Python, Ruby, Node.js, Perl, and blah, blah, blah. These languages can interact with databases, call external services, process data from the user, and so much more. A very basic PHP example for this could be your requested site, this one, right, where you are telling I'm admin and with the information. If index.php was built like this, right, with HTML document, let me put it in a proper way so you understand. So if I have a HTML document, I'm saying hello, and this is the PHP code. Echo the name. So whatever before I typed name in the name field, it should be shown here using PHP code. It would output the following. So let's say Adam names were the client name was Adam, and this was the URL. You see in the URL we have name. To make it better again, I requested the site. What the PHP is saying, hey, this page you requested, what is the name sent? Name is equal to Adam, so this part will be replaced with Adam. And that's what we see. You'll notice that the client doesn't see any PHP code because it's on the back end. It only sees this part that's in the front end. This interactivity opens up a lot more security issues for web applications that haven't been created securely, as you will learn in the further modules. What does web server software use to host multiple sites? What is the type of server that uses host multiple websites? What is the name? I would love to hear some answers if you can. What is the name of the type of content that can change? Right? There is static and dynamic. Which one of them can change? Does the client see backend code? Yay or nay? Can I see what's going behind with the AI models? Right? This one is easy. Nay. Name of the content, dynamic. What does web server software use to host multiple sites? What type of web server? Virtual host. Virtually it's hosting multiple websites, right? Simple. Now let's do the quiz and we'll call it a day, a wrap. Click the view site button on the right. Using everything you have learned from the other modules, drag and drop the tiles into the correct order to request a site. Request to a site works to reveal the flag. The tile, it will highlight in green. When a tile is wrong, it will highlight in red. Okay. So lads, are you ready to help me? I wish I could do a better job in this. No. Okay. We have so many tiles. Okay, let's read through things that at least we can put in our system, right? Our way. Request TryHackMe in your browser. Your browser renders the HTML into a viewable website. So what this means, the HTML you see, the browser is the code you receive from that backend, you will be able to see properly. The browser is doing those things. Check local cache for IP addresses. Query root server to find the authoritative DNS server. Connect to the web servers on port. Check your recursive DNS server for address. Authoritative DNS server advises the IP address for the website. Web server receives the GET request. Request passes through a web application. Request passes through load balancer. This is AWS logo. And I think this one is Microsoft Azure. Web application talk to database. Okay. So I think this is first thing. These are very much basically first thing you do is you request TryHackMe. You see it's green. Now it looks in your local cache in your computer if you have already visited. Remember that on Google, if you have visited everything, a site already, it goes purple. Same idea. So it looks for the cache. Let's say it didn't find it, right? What will happen? We'll say query root server to find authoritative DNS server. Check your recursive server for address. So first I will think it goes to the recursive server, right? Then let's say the recursive, the one near you, don't have this address. This one, the root server, the main, the big guy, the big boss. If the manager can't give you the request, fulfill your request, you go to the manager, the boss, the big boss. This one has that, right? Find the authoritative server. Then authoritative DNS server advises the IP address for the website. It gives you the IP address, right? Web server, now you have received it, right? Then you connect to the web server. No? Okay, one sec here. You request. No? Oh, request first passes. Whenever you make a request now, it goes to the web application. Let's say it passes, goes to the load balancer. Then once the load balancer gets it, your application makes a get connect to the web server, then make a get request. Web application talk to the database, then it loads your facebook.com. THM, you got the order. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody, right? We can actually go over quickly again on this. Okay, never mind. Hopefully you guys got it in the first try. Do try it. A great way to summarize everything. And with that being said, never mind. I have to refresh because this TryHackMe is not working properly. It's done. So now, let's talk about what we will cover on Monday. First of all, we'll cover Linux fundamentals because we completed these 3 parts. Linux fundamentals, I'm going to spend like a whole week will be spent on Linux fundamentals. A lot of information, lot of good information, useful information, lot of notes you can make, and this is where you can actually become a good hacker, honestly. All previous ones were actually about a lot more theoretical. This one is you will see things in action. Oh yeah, dude, I can't wait to do. And as we will be completing Linux fundamentals, next weekend, not the coming one, but the one after, we'll do our thing that was pending during the day. Over the wire CTF challenges. Those will be so fun. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But yes, hopefully that was helpful, right? You learned stuff. One more thing I wanted to mention about is, I forgot, what was it? I forgot. I don't remember. I had it in my mind, I forgot. But yeah, we'll cover Linux, then we'll cover over the wire, right, on Sunday. Oh yes, this Sunday though, I will try to find some time. I will make an announcement beforehand. I'm going to, I've worked on, completed almost half of the blog on my website to how to build good resumes for tech world. Because mine one got selected in Amazon, IBM and stuff. So I'm going to create a blog. I will do it live. So if there is anything you will see, you will understand what I'm thinking, right? Why I'm putting, and all that information, the resources I used, every single thing will be put. So on Sunday, this Sunday will be another good stream coming. Hopefully you like it. And with that being said, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much. Special thanks to our big guy here, Rover, right? This guy, big guy, right? This guy is has supported me so many times. Thank you so much for all. Let me see. Yeah, 5 subs today. Highest ever I received from a guy. Like, this guy has been so good. Akshay, Unfair Rabbit, right? All of you guys, Mind Munchers, Panda, especially Panda, right? You guys have been so supportive. Panda and Rover, like, thank you so much, lads. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Let me know if I can be of any help. Do not forget, you can join the Discord, where if you have any questions, you want any help, you guys can ask me or the community I have built. And we talk about memes and fun things. So feel free to join. Thank you. Thank you, Panda. Thank you. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Love you. so much. If there is anything I can help you with, let me know. And with that being said, enjoy your weekend and have a good night. And like usual, 3, 2, 1, bye! Bye, everybody. Love you. Thank you.